Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Drug and Alcohol Attorneys video newsletter. I've been getting a lot of calls recently about people who want to know what their rights are under the Baker Act. So in this video I'm going to tell you what rights you potentially do have and the ones that you don't. So this is Chapter 394. This is the Baker Act. Now I could spend the next 2 hours boring you to death and talk to you about what rights you have in here, or you could just go into Google and bore yourself to death and read it. Okay, there is a lot of information here. It's very convoluted. I can tell you, I read the statute frequently, and every time I do, I learn something new. Okay, so this document here contains your statutory rights and some constitutional rights. Okay, as to how you can go about enforcing or enacting or trying to vacate a Baker Act. Okay, that's the statute. Let me talk to you about what reality is. Okay, how it really works on the ground, okay, and what I see, on a consistent basis when families call us about trying to get their loved ones out of a facility, okay. You have two rights, okay. The number one right is to basically do nothing and hope and pray that the facility either lets your loved one out or a judge, after a hearing's been conducted, decides to let you out. Your second right is to try and nip this thing in the bud, okay, is to take action immediately when your loved one gets taken under the Baker Act and seek court action to get them out. And as I've talked about in previous videos, the sort of 72-hour window, which gets abused all the time, is the best time to try and get your loved one out, especially if they have been the victim of an unlawful or illegal Baker Act. So the whole point of the Baker Act is it's an emergency stabilization statute. It's not designed for treatment, okay? And the state, right, not you, the state, has up to, not 4, but up to 72 hours to stabilize your loved one. If they can't do that, then they are free to petition the court and ask a court for more time, okay, to stabilize you, okay, and this is where the abuse starts to kick in, okay, because in theory that your loved one could be held for up to 6 months, and I can tell you, I've seen it happen. I had a call about 10 days ago from an individual who had been committed to a state mental institution for 6 months, and I asked that individual, I said, why didn't you call me, or why didn't you reach out to a lawyer before this happened, before you had a hearing? And his response was, well, the facility told me I was getting a court-appointed lawyer, and I didn't need to do anything. Well, guess what? You kind of get what you pay for. And I'm not poo-pooing the lawyers that represent people at these hearings, but I can tell you from experience, most of them are overworked and underpaid and don't have nearly enough time to prepare for a hearing. Okay? So what I'm telling you is if you want to get your loved one out, okay, invoke your right to get them out before they get involuntarily committed for up to 6 months, okay? I have a ton of other content, other videos I've talked about the Baker Act. I'm always happy to talk to a family about how to get their loved one out. Please reach out to us. Let me know what I can do to help you, and thanks once again for tuning in.